wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
So I think we did a third. And I believe if I went through my super comments, not super chats, that's a different thing. Super comments is where after I finish a video, you're just in the regular old comment section, and Google, to my never-ending surprise, says, hey, you know what? You can make comments for free, but we'll allow you to make super comments or super thanks where you pay and it makes a comment. And then I wish YouTube would do, you got to notify, like it should be, because, just basic ethics. Hey, someone gave you a tip, but you don't get a notification unless you set and you turn it on, like, oh, you got a super thing. Somebody made a comment. They paid to make that comment, and it don't pop up on your screen or nothing. And so when I saw people were starting to do this, and there's some people that have donated significant money with thanks or super comments. I like super comments by super thing. I like super comments. And like, oh, there's some people who donated some significant money. So the least I can do is read their super comments. And obviously not as common as super thanks. So let's go through them all. And hopefully you guys are tuning in. And a lot of time you just say thanks. There's not really like a comment that you have. You're just literally saying thanks. So RT Lau MK4DI, $2. He says thanks. Same guy for another $2. He says thanks. And that was on the same video. Vera's Rider, 3523, $2. He says thanks. That's on recovering from boomer advice. Bodazfa, $2. He says one of your best rants yet. Camby FS Wielder for $2. Thanks for the response. I needed to hear this. And that is lazy or stupid and no paragraph request. Then we have, what is that? Philippine. Yeah, it's Philippine. Pesos? Cruza Fuxajetti, 50 Philippine pesos. I think that's what it is. Cappy, how do I get the girls? Heiko Dachi for $5 Australian. He says, thanks, mate. And that's the Case Against Sex Bot, the end of humanity. Kevin Opar, $2. Cappy, it's, you see this, you guys, if you get a super comment, go ahead and comment. I appreciate the thanks, but if there's something you want to say, let me know. Cappy, it seems unpredictable at first. The price is volatile, just like noise. The noise, however, is in a band. Here's a little cheat code. Graph the price with a logarithmic x-axis and a logarithmic y-axis. And he says Bitcoin, not other cryptos, or he says craptos. And this is Cappy on Bitcoin. That's interesting. Back in the day when I was younger, Kevin, I was really into the math and the finance and the statistics. And now that I realize just how little ethics, consideration, and honesty go into the data, and how corporations are all just lying, and everyone's a fucking lying piece of shit, that you kind of have garbage going in, garbage going out. It's really demoralizing. Now, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general might be so new and so wild west. You might have uninfluenced, uninterrupted, misinformationed data, and that would be something cool. Like back in the day, maybe I would have taken applied a logarithmic axis to that, because there was some fascinating shit. Now it's like, dude, what's the average PE on the S&P 500 right now? 30, twice what it used to be. Because no one gives a shit about profits anymore. Cash flows are fundamentals. It's just inflation and number go up. I don't care anymore. There's really nothing to study about finance or investments anymore. It's just index investing, spend less than you make. There you go. Don't get married. Index investing, spend less than you make, don't get married. And you're set. There it is. There it is. Robert Burns, 10 generous dollars. He says, thank you. Jesse Desan for $5. Good. Go see Deadpool. It's a good time. The run time's a little long, but honestly, it's Ryan Reynolds at his best. Great irreverent humor. I don't know. I'd go see it maybe on streaming. It's hard to get me to go see a movie. It's hard for anyone to go see a movie. 3 hours of my time for what? Marginal shit. And no slam against Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool or Hugh Jackman. But is this really worth 3 hours of my time? Like to go down to the theater, get a seat, deal with other people, pay the whatever, 12 or 15 bucks. I know I'm getting older and my requirements are increased. But it's got to be a real damn good movie. It's got to be a real good movie. And Hollywood has not been coming up with real good movies. Not worth 3 of my hours. I can make money. I could watch Once Upon a Time in the West. I can spank my girlfriend in her ass. I can change the oil on my truck. I'm not going to go. Well, it's a parody. Unless a movie came out and said, oh my, when's the last time? Let me ask you guys this. When's the last time there was like a nationwide event where like, oh man, you got to see it? Was it Endgame? Was that the last where you got to see and everyone did, and it was an event and it was really good and everyone had a good time? When did Endgame come out? Endgame. Well, when the hell did it come out? Where's the Endgame? 2019. Was it that recent? So that was 5 years ago. Half a decade ago. All right. Yeah, so one must-see movie every 5 years. Is that what you're up to, Hollywood? Is that what you're up to? One must-see movie. Dude, in the 80s, you had Ghostbusters in 84, Back to the Future in 85. What was 80s? 86 was Top Gun. 87, Lethal Weapon. 88, Die Hard. Am I missing these at all? I think I nailed all 5 of those years. Like what everyone had to go see that movie. Let me see Lethal Weapon. 1986. God damn, am I good? I'm good, man. He's good at remembering dates. Mr. I6074, $2. He says, thanks. Came BF Wielder, $5. Never got paid enough to care. This is on the video. You're not paid enough to care about work. And Came writes, never got paid enough to care. When it's time to go, I'm out. I just do enough to keep me out of trouble. I am a department manager that handles a thing. Well, he wrote it, produce, but also have to open the store some days and clean floors at night. And that's just so I could get 35 hours. I've been there a long time. I'm in my mid-30s, been thinking of leaving for a while. Has to be something that pays more than $12 an hour and deal with less BS. The pay for the employees is minimum wage, and they're always cutting hours, and all the good workers leave for higher paying jobs or stay until they finish trade school, and that's something for me to learn. Perhaps at least take up accounting, since I seem to be good with numbers. I got to say now that I understand why people said to think twice about accepting management position, especially in a retail field. That's the only time I got a raise, which is why I took it. And after more than a decade being employed, I didn't get any extra for the floor or opening. That's just so I didn't get cut down to 30 hours a week. Yeah, there are way better jobs than that. Way better jobs. Christian Johansson, 500 Norwegian kroners, which, what is it? 8 kroners per dollar? It's $40. Let's do KON to USD. Is that the kroner? Krone. Oh, it's 10. It's 10. It divide by 10. Okay, so it's like 90. It's a buck, it's a dime. Where to go? Here it is. That's still $50. Thank you, Christian. Thank you very much. He just says talk. Hipotese Nula, 2 Brazilian reals. He says value. It's Portuguese or something. I don't know what. Robert Byrne, $10. He says thanks. Robert J. Strupp, $2. He says thanks. Our Irving Spider-Man, thanks. A truly worthy cause, and that's called free vasectomies. Robert Burns, 5220, $10. He says, thanks. That's for the video of the girl who wasted a decade of her youth. Weston Smith, 20 generous dollars. He says, thanks. And that's on the Assel Consulting 10th year anniversary. Robert Burns again, 10 generous dollars. And then Fjord Denier Bear, 200 Bulgarian levs. Is that what it is? Lev. Yep, a Bulgarian lev. And that's 50. Whoa, hang on. Man, that was like $100. Thanks, Fjord. And then Fjord again. Did I do that right? My goodness. He did $200 donations. Now I know what it's like to be an OnlyFans girl. This one he wrote a little bit more. For $100 to 100 Bulgarian levs. Epic Store, look forward to Japan. You should be able to use any credit card with the 7-Eleven ATMs, but might as well bring cash. You should be able to exchange US dollars for Japanese yen before leaving the USA. I suggest $100,000 plus Japanese yen, which is about 700 US. Why do you have to bring more than 700 US dollars to Japan? Don't you think? This is Hatton Claw. He don't count. He's not real. He's from Tucson. $10 for freedom, liberty, and managed democracy. Brick 7853, $2. He says thanks. Money Hoarder for 2 British pounds. He has nothing to say. Everett, $5, little gopher there, or woodchuck. He says thank you. Bar 8119, $5. You are very insightful. This is in the relation to the mental hell American fat women suffer. He writes, I think it's a he. You are very insightful. I had this happen to me on something other than weight. Breaking that delusion about you is so hard. You have to accept that the core of you has been wrong the entire time up until that point. It took me a year of self-reflection, but my life has turned around. The issue is that it's so much easier to continue your delusion until it's too late, and that's the path most people take to their detriment. Look at every feminist who thought it'd be cool and edgy to hate men and you didn't need men and kick men out of your life, and that's not the most important thing. And me, and my career is the most important thing. By the time the woman is 50, I mean, not over. You still got 30 years of life left. You could do many other things, but marriage and kids is closed. Or getting the guy you really want, that's closed. That's done. You've lost all your beauty and youth, and you can't have kids no more. And you see leftists with that, where it's just like, man, will you stop doubling down on failure and parasitism? You never win. Unless you have rich parents, you never win being a functional Democrat. Scarlet JU8SR, $5. If increasing male ending statistics are accurate, then the stuff you see on the internet is true. TikTok girls aren't faking it. Argument number 1. Cappy. Oh, this is where I was like going through, like, are they faking it or not? And I was going through like, oh yeah, they're kind of not faking it. There's some fakery going on. Mimic for $2. I gotta be honest, Cappy, I wasn't expecting you to take all that constructive criticism so well. I figured you were going to fly off the handle and succumb to some pretty real shit. This right here wasn't straight based. My favorite part was the very end where you so eloquently shared the mic. I'm sure your client appreciated that little gem at the end. Stay classy, Cappy. And misophonia and Cappy's disability? What the hell is that my coughing that I do? Misophonia? Which certain sounds oh, I remember this. I remember this. Somebody emailed me. It was all pissed off and angry that I coughed and cleared my throat all the time. And then I said, I can't help that. I had a massive allergic reaction when I was a kid. It's been with me since I was 3. And I put my throat right up against the microphone and cleared my throat, made a bunch of disgusting phlegm noises. Doc Joe, $2. Thanks. BLM City Sanitation Department with Bill the Cat, $2. $2. That is how the Tradwife bubble will burst. He did 2 thanks. Thank you very much. Wake up and sniff the coffee. $2. He says thanks. Coddington TJ, $2. He says thanks. Royster, 931, 20 Australian dollars. He says thanks. Royster, 931, 20 Australian dollars again. This is in response to Not Men's problem to solve. Squeaky Chase, $2. He says thanks. Zai Liking, $2. That's all women have is marriage. No, they got labor. They got time. Women can do a lot. That women can do pretty much anything men could do. They got the exact same. They got more life expectancy than we do. They simply just don't have the physical strength. That's it. That's the only limitation. And in a white collar world, yeah, you girls can. You can run. You can aim for the fences. Just do what you choose to. And I look at what you girls major. I'm like, oh, I guess we're just going to avoid math and work this entire time, aren't we? Simon Nelson, 15 Australian dollars. He says thanks. Joe Datano for $2. A wise man once told me we all pay for sex. Thanks. Yes, you all pay for sex, boys. You all pay for it. if anything, your time, and women would make the right argument. Well, isn't it our time too? You're right. But we also pay a mental toll listening to nonsense and bullshit and getting stood up all the time. And we usually also financially pay a lopsided percentage of the courtship costs. Duncan A. T2G, 100 Australian dollars. Thank you very much. That is, the video is 2023, the year women failed. Biggs Animation, 279 Canadian. Another 17 hours at the gym, you'd have a 10-pack and thin as heck. Big Anime Nation again, 279 Canadian. He says thanks. K. Scott Reichi, $5. He says thanks. Ram, 89572, $5. Actually, Cape, he spelled it actually. You're only partially right. See, Field Marshal Novento was actually one of the Alliance pacifists working for peace, but Oz manipulated the Gundam pilots into killing him so they could seize power. Wait, what do you mean we aren't talking anime? And I said, you don't have to. Oh, there, this is the video. You don't have to obey Field Marshal Matt Walsh. Robert Burns, $10 again. Thank you, Robert. Oh, I think this is, yeah. Channel 1800 dumb. God darn it, he passed away. That's right. He has left us. I think, yeah, I think that's it. I think we caught up. Anyway, many thanks to all you guys for all your super comments. Wait a minute. I got to go see if we got super chats in the super comments, which we do. Isn't America wonderful? Let's go to the super chats. Nonstop Drake, $2. Cappy, favorite movie is female. No. Favorite movie is Die Hard, as is everybody's favorite movie. They just don't admit it yet, or they haven't seen it. I had a great philosophical observation where anytime you think your life is bad and all that, and I said, do you know that out of the estimated 100 billion people that have lived on the planet, only 20 billion have seen Die Hard? The vast majority of humans in human existence, the majority of them never got to see Die Hard. The majority of them never had ice cream because it wasn't invented until the vast majority of humans had already lived and died on this planet. Here we are today. We get to watch Die Hard. We get to see movies like Kelly's Heroes. We get to have ice cream. We get to see Anne Margaret. Most men live their lives never seeing Anne Margaret. We get to see Anne Margaret young. I mean, probably a babe for 80 years old right now. Look at Anne Margaret. Hubbada, hubbada, hubbada. You men only want one thing. Yeah, goddamn right. Anne Margaret, 1965. Universal coordinate for 80 generous Australian dollars. Do you feel like an internet hero? Yes. Yes, I do. Hey, $20 is $20. Universal coordinate. Well, I didn't do anything. I just answered your super chat, which you're awfully kind and charitable and generous with your donations. What am I going to do with universal coordinates money? I think, what the hell? I now recently have some car repair I got to do. But aside from that, no, there ain't gonna. I got to buy a flight to Vegas, inevitably. You will pay for my cheap-ass flight. One way to Vegas, universal coordinate. Thank you very much. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.